the greatest creepypasta to ever exist. One day, I was going to visit SeaWorld with my mother and father. I was excited. I had never been to SeaWorld. When we got there, I ran down everyone in my path since I was 6,400 tons and went over to the shark tank. After a couple shark whacking moments, later I noticed an open room with the neon sign over it that said, "Not Secret Biolab." I walked over to it and I heard a man talking. He said, "Oh, what do we do with it?" And the other man said, We can't just kill it. It's a beast version of a dolphin, and I like dolphins." After I heard this, I opened the door. Get on the floor. Everybody walked the dinosaur. What I saw was the scariest thing I saw in my entire 12-year life, so I went into a food coma. After all, I was 6,400 tons, and I had spent the last eon playing Mario. When I woke up, I was... I can't. When I woke up, I was in a room tied to a donut. I was trapped, but I knew I had to escape. So I manned up, squeezed, and jerked myself free from the donut. I was amazed. But then, a small figure entered the door. It was Sanic.
You think you can escape Axel Society so easily?
I stared in awe. I thought that meme died years ago.
No matter.
Sanic began.
You will die a horrible death.
Sanic then pulled out a Hot Pocket and floated over to me. He then spilled the Hot Pocket all over my manhood, and to this day my balls ache and are sore. But luckily, I found a chainsaw and killed him because I am awesome. I ran out of the room and saw him standing there dressed in headphones. It was PewDiePie. He said, "You thought LOL skeletons worked alone? Did you not?" It all made sense now. Okay, not really, but I just wanted to act more intelligent than I am. PewDiePie said, "You may think you can escape, but in reality, you will be stuck here forever, forced to watch my videos." I screamed, but then realized I still had the chainsaw, so I murdered him when I had a irrational, buttery thought. Would it be permanent? I hope so, but nevertheless, I ran out of Axel Society and back to SeaWorld. I ran to my father and said, "Daddy, can we go home?" And he said,
"Yes, son."
He then kicked me into the shark tank and said,
"You stay here. Me and your mother are going to go home and fuck you, stupid disappointment."
My mother and father walked out of the SeaWorld, and I was left there. But I liked it because of the enemy crowd. I sat at my desk doing research on Axel Society, and surprisingly found a lot of public domain information about the organization. Axel Society was created by a hyper ultra Mega Man fangirl who started it once she realized the knives had no reason and that she was trying to take over the world. Insert M. Bison joke here. I got up to go stop them when all of a sudden the toppler busted.
"Oh yeah, you're gonna get toppled, son!"
screamed the toppler. With no other choice, I jumped out of the window, but unfortunately, I landed on the sky. I got up from the sky and looked around. I luckily found a RPG-7 and used my no-scope skills to kill the toppler, but I forgot that one topples the toppler, so he jumped from the explosion and screamed,
"You don't topple me, son. I topple you."
He then grabbed me by the throat and chucked me through the wall. I was somehow still alive and found a katana when the toddler said,
You think you have the upper hand, do you?
He then pulled out his own katana. Our swords clashed as we fought. It was intense when all of a sudden, a ship from Star Fox flew down and Connor MacLeod jumped out and sliced off the toddler's head. He then turned to me and said,
Kyle, you are one of the Immortals.
I looked up at him shocked and slightly aroused.
Millions of years ago, the Immortals were created to battle the Axel Society.
Connor said to me when Star Fox jumped out and said,
They destroyed almost all of us except 2 for plot convenience.
But then the linguistic gamer, along with Christopher Walken, jumped over the fence,
Come on, guys, back to the spaceship.
said Star Fox. We got up and ran when you sent Gamer threw a banana at Star Fox, which hit him in the legs, shattering it instantly,
Go on without me.
said Star Fox, and we gladly left him behind as we jumped into the spaceship and flew away. We flew to the location of the super secret Axel Society base. There, we just searched up on Bing. When we landed, Connor contacted the other Immortals, who arrived shortly thereafter. They were Tom Hanks, Irish Slender Man, Kefka, Mario Lombardi, the Media Monster, and Quare, whose name I was thoroughly offended by. Connor got P and started introducing me to all the other Immortals. First was Tom Hanks, who joined after Axel Society started turning all movies starring him into copies of some animated fan fiction about monsters, which made him everyone's least favorite actor, somehow. Then there was Irish Slender Man, who joined after his brother found success after selling his soul to the great evil that is LOL Skeletons. Next was Kefka, who wanted revenge on all the members of Axel Society for not paying him copyright for using his laugh. After that was Mario Lombardi, who joined to stop Axel Society from making any more insensitive stories about serious topics. The Media Monster joined in order to gain more information to tell the kid that he stalked constantly. And Quare wanted to get revenge on them for using his incredibly offensive name and their slightly more evil version of Sonic Adventure 2. After introductions were done, we got ready to journey into the base of Axel Society when Connor walked up to me and said,
You'll need something to defend yourself.
He then reached into his magical bag and pulled out a knife.
This is the original knife that had no reason.
He handed it to me, and we plunged into the depths of Axel Society base. As we walked through the room to the door to the base of Axel Society, we heard a laugh sound on the microphone above, where the walls opened to reveal a beast dolphin with 8 arms, tentacles, and a laser on its head. It charged at us, flailing its arms, tentacles, everywhere as it got closer to us. Irish Slender Man was the first to act. He threw a bowl of Lucky Charms at the creature's face, hitting it on the face. That was intentional. The creature, though, seemed to take no notice to it, and grabbed Tom Hanks and threw him into the wall. The Media Monster then jumped onto its back and grabbed onto its fin, just as the creature reeled back, smashing him into the ceiling. I then knew what I had to do. If you do recall, my parents left me at SeaWorld with a giant enemy crab. Well, the giant enemy crab, who was named Phil, had trained me in the art of the crab and how to unlock my inner crab. So I let out my crab shriek. And all of a sudden, the wall burst down and Phil, the giant enemy crab, came in and tackled the creature. Quickly into the next room, said Connor, as all the immortals got a hold of themselves and followed him, as I wondered why we didn't just do this in the first place. The next room was empty except for a Tails doll lying in the middle of the room, covered in blood that was so hyper-realistic that it looked more real than actual blood. We thought nothing of it until it pulled out a thing of bleach and poured it all over me and the other immortals, and then pulled out a mat. We all thought nothing of it until somehow it set us on fire. I seriously have no fucking clue how, but we were all on fire. As I laid there on the floor burning, I saw two figures enter as I lost consciousness. I don't know, what do you guys think? That's pretty epic to me. I hope you enjoyed. Stay spooky.